Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for Faithful Fridays. What a blessing it is to be alive and well and here to jump on and join you for this Faithful Friday. Man, God has been so good this week. I hope that you all have had an amazing week. I talked to you guys last week about my last week being so challenging, and this week nonetheless had its challenges as well, but we grow through what we go through, and God is just good. All the things that he continues to show me when I have to step up to the plate and do some things that I've never done before, or some things that maybe I'm afraid to do. I'm glad for every lesson that he teaches me, because every lesson ends up being a blessing in disguise. And so we always talk about the disconnect. It is officially almost a disconnect for most of us. I know last week's disconnect, I was able to get a lot of rest. I was able to do dinner with my hubby. And I was, for the first time ever, I was apart. And I can't say the first time ever, but for the first time, I took on a speaking role for a film that is being done here in Indianapolis. And I'm super excited about that. My nerves were on edge last week, but God seen me through. He got me through it. I am humbled for the opportunity to have a speaking role in this movie. And as we get closer towards production and release, you will hear me speak on it more. But yeah, that was my disconnect last weekend. And so I'm always saying, do some things that you've never done before. Do some things that you will thank yourself later for, even if it's just getting some rest. And I'm trying to live that thing out myself, learning to get some rest, learning to do some things that I've never done before. But, this week I continue to do and practice what I preach, which is commanding your morning, exercising my boundaries, doing those things that my future self will thank me for, like getting my butt up and going to the gym, making sure that I'm being conscious about those things that I am placing in my body, and making sure that I'm continuing to keep the peace in all challenges that I face. So yeah, it was a good week this week. Nuggets were flowing from every which way, and I was trying to catch them and capture them and making sure that I was writing some of this stuff down. But one of the nuggets that I took away from this week is not taking your dreams lightly. I know was presented with a couple of dreams this week, and when I woke up, I immediately got my pen and pad and start jotting them down, because I don't want to forget those things that God is trying to show me, the shifts that he's making in my life. And I would suggest that you do the same as well. Get you a notebook, a journal, notepad, put it bedside, because a lot of times in that moment when we're getting those dreams, it's early in the morning when we wake up and we feel like we're going to do it a little bit later and write it down, and it begins to fade and we forget the details of what God was showing us. And so it was just beautiful. The shifts that he was showing me was taking place in my life, and how he was calling me out of my comfort zone to do some things I had never done before, and to continue to be diligent in regards to the course that I've been on, and not losing the faith. That's the thing, not losing the faith, because we can get discouraged at times. And just dealing with me on boundaries. I've been harping on boundaries for the past couple of weeks, and I'm not going to stop harping on boundaries. One of the books that I'm reading and I continue to tell you guys about is The Best Yes. Make sure you're giving your best yes. And saying no sometimes, it is a protection. So for your best yes answers, you can't say yes to things and there's something else that you're supposed to be doing. We can't be in 1,000 places at once. And sometimes we are going to have to let some people down. But as long as we're giving our best yes, those best yes are helping to grow us. If a boundary is presented with doubt, because that's been a big thing as well, boundaries. But if you present a boundary with doubt, it won't be effectively carried out. And a lot of times we know when we put some boundaries in place. For me, I can put a boundary in place to say, I'm not going to answer my phone after this time. I'm not going to turn my phone on before this time. And then I start to feel guilty as I'm having conversations with people that say, I tried to get a hold of you, but I didn't get a response. And it's like, my boundaries in place, I feel like I let someone down, and I take those boundaries off. And so we can't do that. We have to tell people, this is the best time for you to be able to reach me. I promise I will get back to you as soon as I can. But this is a boundary for me, and this is helping me to keep the peace. And a lot of times it happens when people say, I'm going to block this person. I'm going to, stop, in certain terms, fooling with this person or fooling with this thing, and we go right back to it. We lay our boundaries down, and unfortunately we can't be effective if we keep putting things down or keep changing things up to make other people feel good, because our goal is not to make other people happy. It's to make sure that we first are happy, because that is self-care, is making sure that we're in a good space. And it goes back to, something I had read this week. It said, where did we get the idea that we aren't allowed to say no? Where did we get that idea from? Why do we feel like we have to say yes to everyone and everything? We have to have limitations get in a place where we're not willing to tolerate other people's bad behavior, tolerate other people's demands on our life. I was telling my husband, we were talking about this, and I said, a lot of times people will call you and they will literally say to you, I need you to do this and I need you to do that. And you're like, hold on, are you asking me or are you telling me? And in a certain sense, as I've gotten older, I'm like, these people are not asking you. They're telling you what they need you to do. And so that's when we have to say, hold on. Are you asking me or are you telling me? Because I love to do it for you, or I'm unable to do it for you. But let's set the tone that we're no longer going to let people call and tell us what they need us to do, but they ask us out of respect to say, hey, is this something that is in your will to be able to take on and help or be a part of or be able to assist in? And so, yeah, it was all about boundaries this week, y'all. As I got midweek and I was doing some study, it just was all about springtime and confirming, spring is here. And it was, talking about, springtime commands. A seed being buried in the ground can go weeks without an apparent change before it sprouts. The fact that we don't see the seed doesn't mean it isn't there. And for me, that just resonated with me so deep. A lot of people, they like to garden. They like to get their yards ready for the summer. And one of the things we're doing is we're planting seeds, and we're going out watering these seeds that we can't see. And that seed has not become what it's supposed to be. But we know that if we have enough faith to keep doing the work, in due season, a harvest is going to come. And so I leave you guys with that. If you're planting some seeds, not just in your garden, but you're planting some seeds in your life. You're planting some seeds in your children's life. You're planting some seeds in those things that you desire to do. Keep watering that thing, because in due season, a harvest is going to come. And hopefully it is a beautiful harvest. If you're looking for the guys this week, I'm keeping it short this week because I got so much to get done. And I want to make sure that I have a boundary of closing my day out at a certain time. But if you're looking for the guys this week, you can catch us at the AMP 16. That is 1220 Waterway Boulevard this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So if you have not been sauced, you need to re-up on your sauce. Come and see the guys. We will be there. And of course, we always have barbecue treats. If you have not had a chance, check out Shay Sparks' new feature that she's got out there. I shared it on my page as well. I'm going to continue to say my daughter is a musical genius. She blows my mind sometimes, and some of the things that she does, her discipline, her focus, how I just continue to say, like, as my daughter, she has never gave me any problems. She has always been to the beat. She has been passionate about music since a young age. And I always tell her, it's not if, it is when. And when God does it, he's going to blow her mind, because I already know she is going to be a gem to whoever she ends up working with. The girl is passionate on a whole nother level. There is not a genre she hasn't tapped in that she has not just literally blown it up, blown my mind with what she can do. And so if you haven't had a chance, check her out. But yeah, we are officially preparing for the disconnect. So you know the drill. If it is your disconnect, do something that your future self will thank you for, even if it's just getting some rest, if it's spending time with family, because it is Easter weekend. And for you that celebrate, spend some time with family, recharge your batteries. Even if you're doing your game plan for next week, get ahead of the game so that you're not trying to struggle in that moment to get some things done. But you know the drill. Make sure that you're shining your light. I don't care who you're around. I don't care what you're doing. Make sure that you let your light shine. Why? Because your transparency is leading to so many other people being transformed. This has been your girl 7, and I will see you soon.